This is TWiT.
What do you got? So this trip I have brought the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus, which is part of Xiaomi's affordable range of devices. Those are the ones with the Redmi branding. So Redmi is a Chinese word that means red millet. It's a particular type of rice. It's a red or brown rice. And this is the affordable version of their range. It's a 6-inch Full HD Plus screen. It has a fingerprint scanner on the back, a 12 megapixel camera on the back with dual LED flash. It's a very nice device to hold, and it's powered by a Snapdragon 625 chipset. So not the newest of chipsets, it's about 2 years old, but it's still a 14 nanometer process to manufacture, so it's very power efficient, and it's still got pretty good punch. So for most people's uses, it's more than enough. This is the basic model, which is around about $150. It has 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage, a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, and I'm really impressed by it. For the price, $150 or around about £120 sterling, you're getting a lot of smartphone with a decent selfie camera, good battery life, and an amazing feature, which is an infrared blaster.
Oh, yeah.
Which travelers around the world will love because it allows you to get around a lot of locked hotel room TVs.
Yeah, strangely, IR blasters just are like less, like you don't see them in a whole lot of phones here in the US, but you see them a lot more overseas.
In Asia, they're very, very popular because a lot of devices, particularly air conditioning units, are still controlled with infrared remote controls. So if you want to be really energy efficient, you don't get up to find your remote control, you just use the phone, which you most likely have in your hand anyway.
Right.
Obviously, there are some trade-offs. This is a new device, just launched, but it has a micro USB port, or what we refer to as the nostalgia port.
The nostalgia port.
Grumble.
Sorry.
That's right.
There we are. So that's the nostalgia port. But it does have a courage port, the 3.5 millimeter audio jack on the top. And in my use of it so far for the last few weeks, the battery life is excellent. I get between 6 and 8 hours of constant Pokemon Go playing on it. The user interface is very pleasant to use.
Oh, how cute.
And
I
very
like that.
themable. So this is a theme that I've downloaded.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that a theme that you've got going?
It's a theme that I've found on the MIUI store.
Well, yeah, they have their store filled with themes. Like it's kind of like out of the box. That's one of the features of a Xiaomi phone is how customizable it actually is.
Brightness a little bit.
I'll turn down the brightness. Is that better?
Oh, that's very low. It's good to know it goes that low,
though. This range of brightness control in a device this inexpensive is impressive.
Or is that young and colorful?
Which one?
Oh, never mind. It was up here. It said young and colorful.
Oh, yes. This will be one of the hero.
Sorry.
So let's have a look at young and colorful themes.
I want to know.
Here we go. Lots
they
of
are vibrant.
Young, vibrant.
They match my shirt.
They're probably aimed at millennials, like yourself, Flo.
Well, I really like these rounded corners that we've got going. I mean, clearly that's a thing that's going on with a lot of phones, but it looks really good on this phone in person.
And yes, the Full HD Plus screen is lovely to use, very good quality. It's got vibrant colors. Something that's relatively new for Xiaomi in this case is that it has on-screen navigation buttons.
Oh, yeah.
So this is something which
they've been doing kind of device-driven capacitive touch buttons up until now, or? Until recently, yes. Oh, okay. Until at least the Xiaomi Redmi Note 5A, which was the most recent one, with a 16:9 aspect ratio screen, had capacitive buttons just underneath it. In this case, they have on-screen buttons with the Xiaomi layout of back, home, multitask from the right to the left. Can you swap those?
I haven't found that in the settings yet, but I'm sure there will be a hidden feature to do that.
Hopefully so.
And the Xiaomi menu system is very pleasant to use.
It's so pretty. I love. Oh, look at those cute colors in the quick settings. Was that a part of the theme?
So this is part of the theme.
That's so cute.
MIUI 9, the new version of the operating system, is very, very customizable. It has lots of colors through there. It also the stock launcher, or the launcher that comes with MIUI, has the equivalent of a Google Now feature.
I like that one. That's a lot nicer than the OnePlus one. The one they have that shelf feature.
Yes, it's very similar in terms of functionality, but I would say this is very well designed.
Oh, here we go. Oh, actually, they're kind of on par. Actually,
they're very similar. And if we compare it, for example, to the Microsoft launcher, which has its own shelf, if you're in the if
you're into the shelf life.
If you're into the shelf life, so you have very similar features. So it's not just a Google Now thing. There is a whole different set of launchers who have their own take on the shelves or the Google Now cards.
Yeah.
So obviously, I haven't put many accounts on this Xiaomi device yet, so it doesn't have lots of information available. But the more you use it, the better it is. For personal preferences, I'm using Chris Lacey's Action Launcher on this device. It's my preferred launcher.
And the themes still work?
The themes do work for the icons.
Okay.
And do they change kind of like the system, like the settings pages? Do the themes extend into notifications and stuff, all that?
Yes.
Cool.
There are some issues with Google notifications. So your notification shades, some notifications with some themes won't work appropriately. But with most of them, in my experience, they do work. So
nice. And what remind me of the cost on this again? I mean,
so this is around about $150, and that's for the entry level model, which is 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage, expandable with micro SD.
Yeah,
and there is also a 4 gigabytes of RAM version. And more recently, there was also a launch of the Redmi 5 or Redmi Note 5 and Redmi Note 5 Pro, which are slightly newer models with newer Snapdragon chipsets.
Yeah, this is nice. It's got the, we were talking about this before the show, it's got the metal back, but then with the, sure it's metal, but it's actually plastic top and bottom.
So it's similar in design to what the Honor 6X was, in the same way that it has the plastic top and bottom.
Right.
But for the price on this Xiaomi Redmi, nothing to complain about. It's a very well-built device for the price.
Right on. Yeah,
Ron, would you consider using one of these devices as your main smartphone for a while?
Sure, I'll consider anything if it's free.
No, it would be interesting to see what you think of this particular one, considering your strong opinions on screen size and headphone jacks.
True.
Yes.
I'm willing to try anything, man. 2018 is my year of phone experimentation. I'll try anything, dude.
Really?
2018's Ron's going back to college.
We got to get Ron a Samsung phone.
Ron's in college. It's experimental years with phones.
It's all about ringtones.
It's all about I really think 2018 is going to be the year of ringtones.
It's going to be the new trend.